Welcome to the Level Up Podcast, where finance leaders share real stories, insights, and connections that move them forward. Tune in to learn, sharpen your edge, and level up together.
All right, Nick Aracco here, host of Level Up and founder and CEO of CFO Alliance. Okay, listeners, you know this is not another boring business podcast. This is Level Up. We're the most forward-thinking leaders in business and finance, not only from the CFO Alliance community, but from far beyond. Come to share with me and our listeners what it really takes to lead in today's, what I call, unpredictable world. Each episode, I get the opportunity to sit down with CFOs, finance and accounting leaders, and executives from across businesses, industries, markets from around the globe who are redefining what leadership really looks like and what it requires by stepping up, leaning in, and leveling up. These are certainly not theory-driven interviews. They're raw, they're real, and they're packed with insights that we all hope that you can really use, bring back to you, and apply to what you're doing today and hope to do tomorrow. Past guests of Level Up have included power players like Andrew Platt, Albert Ramos Jr., Phoebe Bishop, Justin Norton, visionaries like Chad Blackburn, Aaron Wilkins, my dear friend, Tracy Williams, who I reach out to routinely for advice and counsel, and you should too. So if you're a finance and accounting professional or leader, business and industry leader, navigating change or challenge, or opportunity, I like the positive side of that, this is your podcast. So today I'm joined by Ahmed Hassan, CFO of Vodacom DRC, 24 plus years climbing the ranks inside there at Vodafone across 4 continents. I hope I have that right. 4 continents. And an IMA global board director, shaping the standards for the profession that he came up through. Okay, so he's given back now. He built his career from GL accountant to C-suite inside one company. Now he's helping set global governance for finance and accounting leaders everywhere else. Why not undertake that, right? This week on Level Up, I get to talk to him. So you're going to hear from him in just a moment. All right. So Level Up is proudly brought to you by our partner, Oracle NetSuite, the #1 cloud ERP, trusted by thousands of high-growth finance-led companies around the world. NetSuite gives CFOs and their accounting and finance teams and leaders real-time visibility, automation, and control across their financials, operations, and planning. Think horizontally, right? So they can lead with confidence and scale with speed. Oracle NetSuite is also a proud and longtime global partner to the CFO Alliance, supporting our shared mission of empowering these leaders in their enterprises to drive strategy, build resilient teams, which is really needed in this day and age, and deliver next level impact. So if you're serious about building and standing up that modern finance function and organization and team that keeps pace with your business in this current environment, NetSuite is your platform. Learn more at netsuite.com. Okay, so now let's dive in. And you know, listeners, I write my own intros, no AI here. Okay, so you can learn more and connect with Ahmed on LinkedIn. So I looked at his profiles. There are various profiles online. So here's what I gleaned. Okay, buckle up for this one. All right. Started his career answering phones in a call center. Did I get that right? Is that true? Okay.
Yeah,
Not
with honor. Yeah, I loved it.
Not exaggerating. That's the actual first line, I think, on his resume. 24 years later, he's the CFO of as CFO, okay, sitting and also sitting on the IMA Global Board, which I told you, has an Oxford Blockchain Strategy Certificate to his name. Is that right? Accurate, I think. Yeah. That's not a career path. That's a full-on climb, okay? And he's still climbing. He's basically has spent a career, instead of being one that's limited, he's using it to go deep. And I think that that's critically important that we bring that to light. GL accountant, FP&A, decision support, M&A, regional finance across a whole portfolio of African and European markets, and now running finance for an entire country's telecom operation in the DRC. Okay. He's negotiated with central banks, restructured tariff strategy, sat on foundation boards, and somehow still this learner in his LinkedIn headline like he's just getting started. Okay. I love that. What I love about him is he didn't just take the flashy path. No flipping companies every 18 months, no chasing titles. He just kept getting better at the jobs in front of him until the job in front of him was CFO. And now he's helping set governance standards for the entire profession globally, dedicated to it. This is a master class in playing the long game. Let's get into it, Ahmed. Welcome to Level Up.
Whoa, what an introduction, Nick. And actually, yeah, if I think of introducing myself, I would never have done it better. So thank you for the perfect introduction. I think it's far more than what I did, but thank you. I'm honored and it's pleasure being hosted in the Level Up podcast. And I think the next few minutes will bring some nice conversation between us on this. I'm up to the first question from you. So
right.
whatever you want to
All right.
explore, and the audience will be interested in Amateur.
All right. So I love to go back in time with my first question. Okay. And so I want to know from you the first time you felt that burning desire to do a deep dive and embrace of the numbers, or when the numbers spoke to you, or when accounting and finance became like your aha, I think I like this. Like, where's the spark? When was the first time you felt that like gravitational pull towards like, I think I like this and I'm good at it? Where was that?
So this will go back some 24 years ago. So when I had the chance actually to be to join the finance team in Vodafone at a point of time. I was still in call center at that time. I had 0 years of experience, and there was a job that was asking for someone with 1 or 2 years of experience. And then I said, oh, let me try. I went to the interviews with some background from what I studied in university and with some practical examples of what I've seen. I went to the interviews and then I had the chance to join the team where actually I started to look at numbers. Numbers were for me was like, okay, that's something not like what I studied, yet it's bringing us to reality. And then moving from GL to decision support, that was my second station after that, where actually I had the chance to learn more about the business, see how these numbers are translating the business performance, and jump into the commercials of the business and jump into the dynamics of how this links to our technology and our infrastructure built and all this. So I believe this is the kind of spark that made me love how numbers link to performance. That was back to 2004, 2005. But I honestly feel fortunate having this kind of experience from the starting points of my finance journey.
Yeah, so it's interesting to me because you had the opportunity then to apply it to the business, but you've also seen the business dramatically change, I'm sure. And people have this vision that accounting and finance is static and that it's not changing along with it. That's certainly not the case. What do you think the most dramatic shift or change in the way that accounting and finance operates has been from when you look back to where it is today? What do you want to set the record straight on?
Okay, so the word static, I don't think that it applies to finance by any means, just for one reason. It is reflecting business. And look at the businesses overall, not only the telecom or the technology industries for the last, I'll say 10 years, not even the 25 years ago. It's completely different. What has been there 25 years ago is not what we are doing now. And this means the translation of this into numbers is definitely different.
Yeah.
Finance and accounting has to reflect this. And actually, look at the standards 20 years ago. You will find that there are lots of developments in the accounting standards itself that had to be there to reflect the business dynamics. So it's not a static. We cannot name it static. And actually, the beauty of finance and accounting that unless you understand your business bottom up, you'll not be able to translate this correctly. So one of the core things that some finance profiles has to look at is what's my business, what I'm doing, how this reflects from a business perspective, from a technology perspective, from a customer perspective. This all translates how this translates into accounting and the financial results. Look at IFRS 15, for example. This translates how customer take their products and services and then translate this into revenue recognition. All the ways that actually the standards that has been changed in revenue recognition since few years ago till now is again reflecting customer behaviors. So it's very dynamic. That's very similar to any science that we study. So that's the way I see it.
So let's talk about translate. Tell me about a time when you got something wrong, and what did you learn from that? I mean, we don't always get it right, or we don't always communicate it well, too. Is there a moment in time that when I say that you could point to, and if so, what was that moment, and what did you learn from it?
So I'm a total believer that failures is a kind of deflection point where actually you turn around and look 360 what's going wrong
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
go to the right way. So definitely I had many things that I learned from, of which one of the mistakes I did at a point of time in my career that I was looking at numbers only. And again, that was under the pressure of time that I had to deliver something in a certain time. It was I think a costing and profitability piece at a point of time. And then I had to finish it in certain times. And then after that, while presenting the numbers, I had many questions about how this reflects the business dynamics, and the answers were very limited at this point of time. And the reason was time constraints and not looking or giving yourself the available time to study this bottom up.
yeah,
So out of this, actually, I learned that in case that you don't have the time, be frank and say that I need more time for something. Be transparent. If not ready,
yeah,
say I'm not ready. Again, definitely it's not a matter of that you will have plenty of time, but at least you will manage expectations that this is what we'll see now and this will be the next step. Having this in mind, I think something is very important. So what that's one of the things that I believe was a turning point for me, that never to underestimate time for my deliverables, never link anything that is coming out from my analysis or my piece of information that I'm giving only to numbers. Numbers are facts, we understand, but unless these facts are reflecting the business dynamics and all the 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 things that drove this, it's only numbers. So this will not
yeah.
be.
Yeah, that perspective, I think, is learned and earned as well, right? I mean, that comes from a bit of experience too.
Yeah,
That's not
it doesn't
theoretical,
come
that's
easy.
very practical.
Yeah, it doesn't come easy. That was almost 20 years in my career, back in my career. But again, a kind of turning point to how I get ready for such meetings and such presentations.
So, right now, we in accounting and finance are getting pulled in a in a lot of directions, and that's both an opportunity and exciting, and it's creating lattice opportunities, capabilities, competencies, confidence. We're being pulled into tech and talent and deals and crises and the like. Where do you see accounting and finance leaders and professionals being stretched the most right now? And how are you navigating that, and how are you helping others navigate that?
So you said it at the beginning that one of the flag behind my LinkedIn profile is that someone is never done learning, correct?
Yes.
So I'm a total believer that someone is never done learning, and this will never stop at any point of time. This means that for you to succeed on what you do, regardless what the job is or what the profession is, you need to be on top of what's happening around, on the latest technologies, on the latest development in the business, and the latest developments on what's going around in the world, the geopolitical situations, the economies, the supply chain, everything that is impacting your business. So how this reflects to what we do now in our daily jobs, I believe, unless you are aware of the circumstances that is impacting what you do, you will not do it right. Hence, I always encourage anyone to not look at what they do only. There is a circle, you are on the core of what you do. So you are the best one to say and to do it. But yet
You
the
could plant
circle,
that stake, I feel like, and say,
exactly.
okay, yes.
Yeah. But the circle around you is everyone influencing what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Be on top of what's happening on this circle.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, look 360. Always look 360 around yourself and see what's happening that is impacting what I'm doing. If you are in supply chain, what's happening in the world that is impacting your logistics, your lead time to build technology. So everything will impact what you do. That will go across all the business professions. Zooming into finance, I see every finance job is a business partner in job. In accounting, you are a business partner. In supply chain, you are a business partner. If you are doing FP&A, every single one. Business partner means you are communicating with those around you. Okay?
Yeah.
Getting their demand as what you supply. That's the equation of what you do. So unless you understand the demand coming from your customers, and I'll name them customers at this point of time because finally you're supplying a service to them, you will get it wrong. So what you need to do is to be on the core of the dynamics of the business, the dynamics of what's going in this point of time in the world, how this is impacting your business. How can you take out of this forward? That's from a technical point of view and on job itself. While from a technology point of view, there are lots of things that is impacting the way we do things. And then
How we do it.
exactly. And here
Yeah.
I'll touch base on all the technologies that we had since we had Excel automating what we
I
do at a
know.
point of time. That was a kind of automation that made
Yeah.
things easier till the moment that we are seeing AI is completely helping us seeing things differently. And
Yeah. I'm surprised we got this far along without raising the AI question, because I was so excited to raise this with you, given the work that you're doing. Okay. So let's talk about how it impacts how work gets done, and how you've painted a beautiful picture about how accounting and finance is now being applied this way, right? And this way, really circular. So it's like this, it's spinning the plate, right?
Correct.
Yeah, which is amazing, and it eliminates this ceiling of like, oh, it's stuck, there's a box. If you get to it's actually empowering to develop the competencies and capabilities in accounting and finance, because the practical application of those competencies and capabilities now are limitless, in my opinion. Okay. but
100%.
but the skills, this the way you apply those now are changing rapidly too. So I'm curious your thoughts on how AI is going to is transforming, and will continue to transform the practical execution of the work of accounting and finance professionals and leaders, and what it's going to require leaders to develop in and of themselves. Talk to me about that.
Is and continuing. You said it right.
Yes.
So
Yes.
currently you are at a stage of AI giving us the tool to look at things differently, look at reports differently, doing a piece of analysis that takes no time for you to get
Right.
out.
Like
That
that.
used to take almost a day or two.
Yes.
All this is what we currently have. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This means that people have the time to validate what's out from AI because it still has to be validated,
Yes.
to get the insights out of this, because still this will require the human experience to reflect what's going out and what's getting out
True.
of it. This will require the knowledge and the capability of someone to be on top of how this is happening and how to be part of it. Being part of what's happening now is the key factor that will make someone developing in the finance profession and in professions in general, because this is impacting everywhere. It's impacting
Mhm.
the medical fields and even engineering, everything. But again, back to finance. So what you need to do is to make your team always capable to learn, putting the right tools for them to adopt AI and use it in what they do on their daily jobs, and sponsor this heavily. Be part of it by reflecting what you do. And this is something, honestly, I try my best to do always, is that I use AI heavily in either my personal stuff or my business requirements. And believe it or not, I play music. I play keyboard and piano. So I use it even in music. So
Okay.
how this is helping me, I try to reflect it to my team, to showcase how this is helping in delivering a piece of analysis or a piece of information. That's a part. Putting the right learning tools for them again to be part of the developments and the evolution that AI is making is another thing. Bringing the right talents in place and keeping these talents always developing to make sure that they are on top of the latest technologies is one other key thing. So I believe this is an evolution that is ongoing, starting
Yeah, it
not only
is.
the evolutions of technology in general is ongoing and will continue ongoing. The phase that we are in now is the evolution of AI, how AI is impacting businesses. So what we need to do is that to sponsor AI in our businesses. This is number one, to make our teams capable and knowledgeable enough to deal with this reality, because it's
And comfortable enough too,
comfortable
culturally.
enough to exactly,
Yes.
and make it like the tool that they are using to deliver what they should deliver. So I believe it's the ecosystem that we live in that we need to make it ready enough for the evolution that we're living.
Let me ask you this, as somebody who's embraced it like you have, what have you learned about yourself, or what have you validated you already knew about yourself since you've embraced these tools personally and professionally? Is there anything?
That there is always, and honestly, not only one again, there are always many angles for things that I've never tackled it from.
Okay.
Because that's so
Yeah.
so I'll get you a journey of prompting something to any AI platform.
Yes.
You
Yes.
ask for something and then you get a response, and then it's starting scratching your mind. Okay, should I do that? Do you want me to do this piece of analysis? Do you want to have this as graphs? Or it's always getting something that wasn't there.
Yes.
And this
Yeah.
is the beauty of AI. That's the beauty of what is coming out of AI, that it's
Yeah.
opening your eye on things that was
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah.
maybe not within your visibility.
Yeah.
So just widening the angle of your visibility. I see it this way.
Yeah. I do too. I do too. I think we share that. That was beautifully articulated, because that's exactly the stimulant I get out of it too. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why I
yes.
say it's lifting our capabilities and unleashing those. It actually makes the human component more valuable and impactful, not less.
100% correct.
But I would think it also does too. And this is the part I think more and more finance leaders are recognizing. It is making it more critically important that we build and strengthen relationships that we have in that's critical for us to be effective in our respective leadership roles. Not that they weren't critical before, but increasingly critical.
Yeah, 100% agree. Because again,
Yeah.
it's how it is transforming the way things were being done to another completely different way. It's better.
Yeah.
It is still engaging you and the teams, because it's not a one-man
Yeah.
show. It is still
Yeah.
engaging everyone around and getting the best out of it. So I think it's something that we need to sponsor, something that we need to be part of and get its best. That's the way I
Yeah.
see it.
So I have a question about from CFO to CXO, right? To graduate from. There's been all this talk about debate about, well, if you're an increasing number of CFOs that move from CFO to CEO, well, if you're really good as a CFO, you should aspire to be a CEO. And there's two schools of thought to that.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on that? I mean, there's the one that say if you're a really good CFO, stay the good CFO. That's your course. And there's others that say, well, if you're a really good CFO, you would make a damn good CEO. Do you have an opinion on that?
Okay, sure. So I believe, yeah, the CFOs are fortunate by having 360 view on the businesses overall.
Mhm.
you are part of the setting a strategy, and then you are part of executing a strategy, and then you are part
Yes.
of solving issues, and then you are part of solving a supply chain issue, and then you are everywhere. So,
Mhm.
which brings a kind of unique um, knowledge and profile that you are having a 360 view on how the business runs. I believe this is one of the pluses that makes CFOs ready for a CXO or COO
Mhm.
position afterwards. So it's again all about how you take this and put it as one strong foundational uh, uh, block for you to get into the next step. Again, being a CFO now is not, and this is something new that I'm going to say, is not a reporting thing anymore. It's
No,
part
not at
of the
all.
strategy. Yeah, that's long time ago, but yani, we keep on hearing this,
I know. Yeah.
emphasizing on this that it's you be playing a critical part in the business improvement and growth and development. So, and I see this a very strong pillar in CFOs that prepares them always to the next step.
In your respective leadership role at IMA, what are the priorities that you and your colleagues are most have identified as the top priorities, and what most concerns you about where we are today and where we need to go to?
I believe the key thing is our members, what we provide to our members, and how can we take it always to the best of them, of our members, bringing always the latest developments in finance to be provided through the IMA, and doing this kind of seamlessly, being the organization and the institution that provides this to the finance professional everywhere in the world, bringing the right and the required um, educational platforms and knowledge platforms to their table in no time. So I think that's one key things that we are very keen when we look at what we are doing at the IMA in the IMA, and I believe it's the way we do it is one of the key important points that we look after. And I believe that as you mentioned at the beginning, it's for me being part of this and actually being honored being part of the IMA board for a long time. It's the give back opportunity that as I was a student at a point of time studying CMA, and then I was part of some activities in the IMA as a volunteer, and then I was sitting now in the global board. All these journeys made me learn one thing, that it's all about this community. It's all about how
Yeah.
we are giving back to the profession and to the finance people. And honestly, this is one of the things that I feel great doing now, is how I try my best to give back to the community of the IMA, the community of the finance and the profession and its people.
Do you think that there is a capability that every finance leader, CFO will need to have 5 years from now that most don't have today?
5 years from now, actually 5 months from now, there might be
Yeah.
lots of. So the thing I always see that make yourself fit enough into what's coming.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's almost like we we've always in some way, shape, or form been the chief reality officers. We need to apply that to ourselves
Right.
and the roles we're playing at all times now. And we have to be consistent and authentic, but we also have to be agile at the same time, which is
100%.
really difficult, because if we're consistency and agility at times go are tension. Right?
Yeah, it's how actually you balance this and that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And actually, one thing, and I'll bring some sports example
Yeah.
here, that to play any sport, you need to be fit to do it. Fit
Yeah.
means you're doing some other exercises, completely different than this sport just to fit into playing this sport.
Yes.
Correct? It's
Yes.
all about being fit. Being
Yeah.
fit
Yeah.
means ready, uh, ready for learning. Never feels that I'm done. That's completely wrong perception.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
again, sponsoring the change. And this is
Yeah.
something that sponsoring transformation of one of the key words when it comes into finance. The way again we are transforming now, I
Who would have
believe,
thought?
and a few years ago is phenomenal. Look
Yeah.
at how things actually transformed since COVID, for example. Take
I
them all.
know. Yeah.
Okay,
Completely different.
180 degrees different. Okay,
Yeah.
it's this talent to be
Yeah.
fit, to be ready
Yeah.
for change, and be part of this change.
Yeah. Embrace it. Embrace it.
Embrace it.
Yeah.
Sponsor transformation.
So your continued embrace of it, what do you think's on the horizon for you in terms of what's next for you? I'm curious.
So I believe as we are again in this transformational time, what's next is dependent on many things of developments that is going around. But I think that I look at it from two angles. Professionally, definitely I'm looking for what's next as that makes me add value.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no going back on that.
Yeah, so I believe so the continuation of the path that makes me feel that the value creation out of what I'm doing
Yes.
is there is
Yeah.
important. I'll name it in a CXO thing without
Yeah.
naming the specific title. It's again,
Yeah.
this is one of the
Yeah.
key things I totally believe in, and I feel that okay, that's I did something, the value addition.
Yeah.
This is in the professional track. In the
Yeah.
volunteering track and in the way I do things with the IMA, I think again it's how someone is adding
Sorry.
value.
Sorry.
You're good.
That's my dog.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So how someone is adding value to the profession and to the people and playing a catalyst role in their development. When I feel this, and thankfully that sometimes I feel it when someone come to me and say that this piece of advice was good, something brought something important to him out of what I'm saying, I feel like okay, I'm doing something good for the community and for the profession. So
Yeah, I feel like you see the application of it too through like the advice and counsel too. You're a relational person, not a transactional person. It's very important to you that you're there to make sure that advice and counsel, although they take it and they do with it what they can and want, you see that they apply it and that they see it through, which I think is a testament to relationships more than just voice, it's pretty cool.
it's the way
Yeah.
I feel that I
Yeah.
did something.
Yeah. So what's something that most people don't know about you? You made a reference to music, so you have to give us a little bit more there, but tell us a little bit more about you.
So yeah, so music is my kind of the way I get into myself, and
Yeah.
I spend some good time putting my pieces and playing it, and now actually developing it even more with the technologies around and the new
That's
technologies around.
awesome.
Yeah, and it's always that time where actually you generate your energy, and
Yeah.
you have a kind of this continuation of the inner energy that you need to do things. Rather than this, it's something that
What
everyone
kind of
else does.
music, what kind of music do you play, or what's your favorite kind of music? What do you do?
So I play the music I like. So I play when I hear something. So I hear
Oh,
something, I play it. I don't.
awesome.
It's not a matter of a note reading rather than I play what I hear. So
That's awesome.
if I like a piece of music, I go to my keyboard. I try to play it and I play it, and that's
That's awesome. That's awesome. So if another finance leader or listener is listening right now and they want to connect with you, what's the best way for a listener to do that? And what would get your attention if they did try to connect with you?
So this will be very welcome through my LinkedIn profile and messaging me on LinkedIn. It's the tool that I get in touch with many people, and actually I do my best to respond to as much as I can from the messages I have, and. I believe any other channel like the CFO Alliance, for example, I'm happy being a member and being there as well. And definitely, I'm there for all the members to uh, to get in touch with and communicate with and get the best out of it as well. And try my best to give it something.
So, and one thing I'm wondering too is, a source that you rely upon that you view helps you stay relevant, impactful, and future ready. Is there anyone that you follow or listen to, or that you view as like your catalyst for information and knowledge too? I'm curious because you have quite a following on LinkedIn as well, by the way. So like there are a lot that follow your way too. But I'm curious, who is there anybody that you immediately comes to mind that you're like, that's somebody I listen to or I like to hear from?
So I believe not to forget any name. I follow and I listen to the ideas that comes within my interests, which is mainly again embracing technologies, embracing
Mhm.
what's coming next, embracing the future readiness. So
Yeah.
all those channels, whatever.
Become your stimulant and then you
Exactly.
share. I like
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now the algorithms is helping you enough to do
I
this.
know.
Once you are into something, you find it in the way. So,
I love
but
it.
definitely there are lots of very significant and impactful friends
Yeah.
and colleagues that I follow. But again,
Yeah.
without not to forget any name,
Yeah.
I
Well,
so
you're very active. You're a very active voice, and we appreciate that. And more importantly, we appreciate what you're doing to help shape what we do today in accounting and finance, and what you're trying to do to help shape the pathway for tomorrow through your voice individually and then collectively through what you're doing with IMA and also with our community. So this is why we do the Level Up series, to hear what's really happening in the role, how you are making your next plays, and what it's like to sit in that seat and how you got there. So I really appreciate you sharing so freely and openly. More importantly, what you're doing to continue to lead by example in your role and the embrace of how it's all changing too, embrace of AI, technologies, and talent changing along with it. So Ahmed, I really appreciate you bringing your voice to this today. I feel like time flew by already, and I only got a few chapters into your story, but you've got a lot of chapters to write, and you got a lot more we need you to do. So I hope you'll continue to do it with us.
sure. This will be a pleasure. And again, thank you for having me this evening in the show. And I believe
Yeah.
that definitely the conversation was super interesting to me. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no, thank you. And if you enjoyed what you heard from Ahmed, connect with him. His link is here tied to this episode. And more importantly, if you have recommendations for guests that inspire you, like our guest today, please send them our way, because this is why we do this. Please subscribe to Level Up. Stay tuned for more. And most importantly, stay well, stay safe, and stay connected. Thank you again for joining us, Ahmed. And thank you, listeners, for joining us. Please join us again for yet another episode.
Thank you, Nag. That was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Level Up Podcast. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. More stories, insights, and connections to help you level up.